All right, guys, welcome to another Real versus Fake. This is going to be the Jordan 5 Awake collab, the BubbleGum Pinks, as they call them. And we're going to go ahead and get into it. As I always say, time is of the essence. And let's see what we can do here. Authentic on the right, rep on the left. Let's go ahead here real quick and do the UPCs quickly. Obviously, these are both a size 12, both say made in China, so forth and so forth. Here, UPC ends in 314. Here it ends in 314 as well. Actually, 45218. Can already tell the UPCs match. Be careful out there. This will scan on the barcode apps, guys. So if you like per se use like a StockX barcode scanner, it's going to pull up the Awake 5s. So just be careful with this stuff. Now the box, of course, compared to the authentic, yeah, the print quality is a little different. A little bit less of a richer black, a little bit more ridges going across. That does fluctuate as well on retail. Don't get me wrong, but they did get the box size correct, which is even scarier. And the Awake logo here with the Jumpman, pretty cool. Obviously, to be fair, let's call it what it is. We got a cleaner embossment here of the Awake and Jumpman there versus here. Here it looks to be just a little bit smaller, but when it's by itself, what else can you do? Also, let's look at the Nike Air here versus the Nike Air there. Okay, it's a little bit smaller on the lid there. Here, a little bit bigger, glossier, pops a little bit more. Let's look at the rears real quick. And again, very similar. And just be mindful, guys. You know, when the when the retail is here, it's easier to call a lot of the differences out. Again, yeah, less of a print quality. Again, the colors aren't as vibrant, you know, here versus here, as we see there. But they did get the correct spelling right. They did get positioning of certain things correctly. So to be very honest, so far, so scammy. Got to be careful, guys. Let's look inside the boxes real quick. Here we go. Comes with the internal tissue paper, as the retail does, along with the stickers and the small sticker here, as you can see. Again, same here. Here's the rep stickers. Here's the authentic stickers. And yeah, very, very close. Minor text sizing differences. Looks a little bit bigger on the rep here versus the authentic to the right, as you can see. And again, I'm going through this a little bit quickly, guys, okay? Let me know if you guys see anything I didn't call out. But it's quite similar. Very similar. The red is more of a darker red on the rep versus the authentic stickers. But again, you can probably only even realize that by having the authentic next to it. I'm a firm believer of, if you're going to authenticate it, and I know it's a dream, but it's always nice to have the actual authentic there. But anyway, here is the internal tissue paper each shoe comes wrapped up in. And again, this is the authentic side. And where is the mall sticker? Oh, I got a goodie here. Dope. That's pretty cool. I did not notice that. That's pretty cool to have. Okay, YDMO stickers here on the rear on that side of the box. That's pretty cool, though. Did not know that came with this additional sticker. Awesome. For those of you who did receive your pairs already, like me, dig a little deeper in the box if you haven't, and maybe you'll see this. That's pretty dope, though. Did not know that was in there. Here's the rear embossment of the Awakened Jumpman. Yep, we do have the rear embossment here as well. And, of course, we do have the internal white tissue paper. But yeah, no additional sticker, but y'all know already how I go, guys. You see that. You definitely shouldn't be seeing that on your authentic pairs, unless you obviously bought it directly from there, or somebody who, I guess, gets their stuff from them, or buys and sells from StockX. Okay, let's get to the shoes. Okay, guys, let's get into shoes here. We have the authentics on the right. We got the reps on the left. From the top here, these are both size 12. By the way, you can already tell, if you know where to look, there's a scaling issue. And when I say issue, the reps here, they're a little bit overscaled. They're size 12 just like the authentics are to the right, except that they're scaled bigger. So as you see here, hence the toe box, right? You see with this toe box, looks like versus this toe box. You see the difference? This, as I like to say, shout out to Dre, torpedo toe box, as I say. Here we got a little bit of a smaller, oval, a little more compact toe box, right? Let's get into something a lot of people were interested in. Let's compare the leather. And as we could see here, we obviously see the tumbledness on the authentic, right? And on the rep here, as we can see, it does have top grain tumbledness. It does in more spots than none. But on the toe, not as apparent as the authentic. But that's just there. But here, you see it there, right? Also, I want to compare something here. So here we go. So again, both size 12. So one thing you can automatically notice immediately, actually, you see the A on the authentic is a darker transparent color versus the lighter here on the rep. Usually, with what I think is interesting, it's the other way around a lot of times. However, that's what it is in this case. So for those that say, oh, I can tell immediately that there's a color difference in the tone and all that, unless you're the designer of the shoe, I'll give credit to the designers and the design team, but I don't know, y'all. But as we see here, the NY is a little bit more of a richer red versus a little bit more of a fire red on the rep there. But yeah, seeing it in the video, yeah, you could definitely see the difference here between the KG. You definitely can of the letter A for sure. But anyway, I guess we'll keep it moving. This is a type of a nubucker suede here around it. Materials, I have to be honest, they do feel nearly identical. I can't front. I mean, we're seeing it with our own eyes here on 4K. Also, again, this is where the overscaling happens that I explained. You see here, this hump here, right? Versus this one here. It's actually a bit bigger there, more pronounced on the rep. Let's see. The tongues are similar. They are. Both got their bumpity bumps, is what it is. Everybody iron your tongue if you get the rep. And look at the authentic, right? So that's actually a bit of a difference. We got a darker silver color here and a much lighter one on the rep. Interesting. I did, like in person, sure, you can see the tone color difference now in between, but on camera, it's quite apparent. Stitch job, I would say, is near identical to the authentic to the right. Authentic here. Okay, so the letters and the Jumpman is a little bit overscaled on the authentic here to the left. And again, the color's a bit more darker on the authentic here. This is pretty interesting. Lace bag, similar. A little tad of a fog on the rep lace bag here to the left versus the clear, oh so clear on the authentic to the right. Let's see here. Also the hang tags on the rep here. I'll be fair, they're both nearly the same exact color. They really are. Yeah, yeah. they're close. The authentic is just a tad darker, but that's a tough one. Having a look here. Again, you see the darker caging on the authentic here for the letter A, lighter here on the rep. Also, caging is darker here on the authentic versus the rep there. Also, let's get into the stitching. Oh, stitching doesn't matter. Ooh, who cries about the stitching? You're right. Who cares about the stitching when you're wearing the shoe? This is just about authenticating. Now, the design team did make the stitching jagged and gave it like a sloppy look on the authentic here to the right versus the rep. Clean and tight. That's how they did it. All right, and why not? Let's look at the rears. Again, authentic on this side now, rep on this side. Again, very similar, very close. Again, the Nike Air on the rep here to the right. It's a little bit overscaled. As you can see, there is a size difference. And again, you got the authentic with that jagged, sloppy stitching, which is intentional. And we got the different outsole colors, as you can see. Again, a wake Jumpman here, a wake Jumpman there. It looks like to be a little bit smaller on the rep. See how much, see the rep, like they are nearly the same size, but you see the rep, like this is where it's like weird issues where some people have messaged me like, oh, the shoe's not that comfortable. I have worn Jordan 5 reps, and I'll be very honest, for me, there's never been a problem in the past with just trying these out. But everybody's different. Everyone's got different feet, right? But they're nearly the same scaling here, except the rep does look a little bit wider here. I'll say that much. And yeah, let's go ahead and have a look at the other shoes here, and we'll be on our way out. All right, let's have a look at the left ones here. Again, dark caging. So we're going to basically call out the same things. The one difference here is the number 23, of course. Excuse me. And again, you see how much bigger that is, like I called it out on the other shoe, versus the bump here. Again, just scaling, guys. It's scaling. It's not to diminish the look, but, you know, these are where I have problems when people say they're one-to-one or, you know, just things like that. There's just certain strong differences. And even, yes, retails are not necessarily one-to-one, but there's certain aspects of them that are pretty much spot on. But again, the 23s here, again, nearly identical in positioning and so forth. The 23 here is a little bit bigger than this because of the overscaling that I've already talked about. Let's see here. Again, rear, authentic, a little bit of a smaller Nike Air, a little bit of a bigger one. I'm going to squeeze this in so you can see. Now I'm squeezing it in, right? So you can see. So they nearly are a similar build. The rep here is a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Got some thickness going on. Let's keep it real. Other than that, that is about it. Like I said, everything I called out on the other shoe that's what we're going to see on this one. Oh, let's get to the numbers here. Okay, so let me get to the numbers here. So you see here, 0001 7000, and let's get to the authentic. I'm going to try my best, guys, to hold these together. Okay, and here's the authentic. Here's the authentic. Ironically, it's a little bit of a different text on the rep here to the left. So ironically, more vibrant. But again, it looks like a little bit of a thicker thread they used in comparison. And the 7's crooked on the right shoe. I have no idea if all 7,000 pairs are like that, but the 7's crooked. Here, not so much. Awaken why? Awaken why? And that's what we're going to leave it, guys. You know what? Why not? This is probably going to be the only real versus fake up here for this for a while. Let me show the insoles here. Now look at the footbed. As you see inside there, or I should say the lasting board, there was some lettering on there, but in the blue, but it obviously rubbed off here. We got Dream Cell, of course. Nike Air. And let me take this bad boy out. Little bit stiffer. Again, here's the quality difference. You see different reds, different quality of the print. And this does say Dream Cell. And we're going to leave it at that, y'all. Your boy's got to get back to the gig. Peace out.